Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name's Claire. I have not created any content on YouTube for a while, mainly on Instagram for the past couple years, but I wanted to hop on here and kind of get my channel up and going again. A lot has changed, so I thought I would do a quick update of what's happened over the past 2 to 3 years, just in my life. When I was previously uploading videos, I was living in Bangor, Maine. I was living with my husband, and we were actually in the process of going through immigration because I had moved from Canada to join him in the US. So that time we had a lot of stress. We were dealing with the immigration applications, having to go to the nearest city to kind of go through all the interviews and biometrics and any appointments that we had to do, and that was about a probably 3 to 4 hour drive from where we were. And then just the kind of general stress of going through that and our whole lives being up in the air made it hard to keep up with the content that I was planning on kind of uploading for all of you. So in February of 2020, we actually moved further north in Maine. So we moved almost as far northeast as you can go in the US. And it was about a 2.5 hour difference of a drive from where we currently were. It was a little city called Presque Isle. And unfortunately, we moved up to this small little remote city about a month before everything shut down for all of the COVID restrictions. I was lucky enough to be working remotely, and I still am for the same company, which has been incredible just for that stability. But unfortunately, my husband was not quite as lucky, so we moved to a small town, he found a job, and then COVID shut everything down, and there just weren't a lot of opportunities there. So we ultimately decided to move back out west, a little bit closer to my family. And I'm originally from Vancouver, British Columbia. So our aim was to get as close to Vancouver as we could, at least for this kind of step in the right direction. So we relocated kind of almost all the way there. So we are in Washington State, which is amazing. But we are in Spokane, which is more on the east coast of the state, very close to Idaho. So while we were in Presque Isle, I did get my green card, which is amazing, after some very scary back and forth through the process, but ultimately it did work out for us, which I'm so grateful for. Because we were married less than 2 years, though, it means that my green card was only valid for 2 years because they have restrictions on it if you're married less than 2 years and it's a marriage green card. So basically what we have to do is at the end of this year, apply to get those conditions removed, pay more money, go through more processes, and then ultimately I can apply for my citizenship about a year from now. So that's where we're at with the immigration. If anyone has any questions and they're going through something similar with green card applications or anything like that, wondering about my journey, I'm happy to do either another video going a little bit more in depth because we did do it all ourselves, no lawyers or anything. So any questions you have about that, or if you're just wondering about our journey a little bit more, how we met, living on opposite side of the countries, and all of that type of stuff, I'm definitely happy to dig into that. But currently we are in Spokane. It's still about a 7-hour drive from my family, so not super close, but a lot closer than being on the other side of the continent. So that's pretty exciting. And since we moved to Spokane, I have actually launched my business. You can actually see behind me, I have a little sign. So I launched a business called Clarity Planner Company. I did an amazing course called Create and Sell, and I finally created my planner that has been on my mind for probably 5 or 6 years. So it's really exciting that I finally was able to bring that to life. Currently it is in a printable form. You can use it digitally with your GoodNotes or anything like that. but I did a full bundle. So I did like a planner, journal prompts. I did a card deck that you can use. So basically you pull a card and there's different categories like affirmation, self-love, reflection, and so on. And then I also did a guided visualization. So I did my first guided visualization, and all of that, as I mentioned, is available either as a bundle or separately, and I'm starting to create mini bundles for different combinations. And I will link that Etsy store kind of in the description of this video if anyone is interested. Obviously, no pressure, but if you're curious to see what I've made, you think it may be of use to you, definitely go check it out and you can see what it's all about there. We have had some changes as well, kind of on the animal front. So when I first moved to Maine, I brought my 2 cats from BC. So I had a senior cat called Shay, and then also a cat that was about 6 when we moved called Tally. Unfortunately, Shay did pass when we were in Presque Isle just over 2 years ago now. So that was definitely heartbreaking. We do still have Tally, and she is kind of getting on, so she's just hitting 8.5 about now, and she's definitely becoming a sassy senior. When Shay passed, we did want Tally to still have that companionship, so we were looking for a cat that was a little bit older, but we ultimately found 2 kittens. I said I either wanted a gray kitten or a black kitten. Somebody contacted me that had 2 left in the litter. One was gray and white, one was black and white. So I took that as a sign. I got both of them. I figured they could be crazy and play with each other rather than bugging Tally if we just had the 1 kitten. And then a year ago, last summer, we also added a dog to our family called Bruno. So he's a year old now. He's a Lab Pit Bull cross. Definitely full of energy, still working on the training, but we are slowly getting there. He keeps us busy, but he is just a little bundle of love and just loves his cuddles, loves people, gets very, very excited with new people or seeing anybody. So that's our little family in terms of our animals. And then, yeah, I've been going to school and pursuing my Bachelor of Commerce. So been busy kind of pursuing that distance education. And then, of course, I am still working at the same day job remotely, which also keeps me very busy. With building my own business, again, if anyone wants any videos on that, kind of the process I've gone through so far with creating that, I am still very early as I just launched in April, and I really started to ramp up creating the business in kind of January, February this year. I'm definitely happy to go through what I've done so far. I can even do a video walking through my products. I just didn't want to be product heavy kind of first video back. I just wanted to do a life update. And then I am doing a second launch for a bundle as well in August. And that's going to be centered around overcoming overwhelm because, as you probably noticed, I have a lot of things on the go, and that is just kind of how I like to live my life. I like to be progressing in different areas, which means that ultimately I am fairly busy juggling a few things, and I need my schedule to be organized in order to do that. So what I'm creating is kind of ultimately what I would love to have, and it's going to be a wall planning bundle, and it's going to have tools for breaking down your goals. It's going to have calendars that you can put on your wall, progress trackers that you can have alongside it to have those visual cues of how you're doing, and a whole bunch of other stuff. So I will probably do a video on that closer to when I'm launching, either at the end of July or early August, to walk you through what I have there. But I'm really, really excited and currently creating that and building it out and seeing where the creative process takes me. So super excited about that. And yeah, so just I wanted to come and hop on, give a quick update, say I am planning on getting more consistent and kind of bringing this channel back to life. It will be kind of centered around planning, organizing your life, but from a perspective of personal development, gentle actions and habits and rituals that you can kind of implement in your life in order to shift your life in the direction you're wanting to go, but through smaller, consistent, actionable actions that are not going to be super overwhelming to you. Because what I notice is, I think all of us have a tendency to be like, okay, I want to accomplish this. I'm going to change everything in my life at once because that's ultimately where I need to be. So I want to get it, a running start on it. And changing so many things in our life at once ultimately will lead us to exhaust ourselves, get burnt out, become overwhelmed, and can often result in us giving up. Whereas if we're able to do like small shifts that over time create, huge change, that can often be the best path forward with that. It can be as simple as, first making sure you're hydrating your body enough if you're wanting to get in shape or lose weight. And then once you get used to hydrating your body and your body is able to actually take in the water and use it, and you're feeling your energy go up and your focus increase and all of those amazing changes that come with being hydrated, then after that, what can you add? And then once your body gets used to that and starts to crave that as part of your regular routine, what can you add next? And it can really just minimize that mountain ahead of you, right? So that's where I'm planning going, really personal development, planning, breaking down your goals so you can actually achieve them, and that whole kind of space. I will also, if people are interested, do like a business, series if you're wanting to see the progression of how I'm building my company. I'm totally willing to be super transparent about what I'm doing to get it off the ground. I'm not trying to keep any secrets to myself. And I'm more than willing to help in any of the areas that I have gained knowledge since I've started, what tools I'm using to create things. Super happy to go into that, and I would love to answer any questions and help anyone along that's really wanting to pursue becoming an entrepreneur, because I know a lot of people are these days, and what are the steps you can take, and even just follow my journey as I'm building my business. So I'm going to end it there. If you do have any questions or anything you would like me to fill you in on and talk about in a future video, please do let me know. And thank you so much for watching. I would love if you'd subscribe and like. It would really help me out a lot. And I hope you all have a beautiful week ahead.